Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a great routine for your abs. We're going to be doing Pilates moves, and you're just going to need a mat, and that's it. And we're going to start off with our knees bent and just going side to side, just warming up the hips and the arms and the abs. Really making sure that we're keeping a straight line here, so try not to arch or slouch. Good, nice and fluid. Good, release. And we're gonna come to our knees and we're gonna extend one leg, keeping the other leg bent. And we're just gonna go to the side, and I'm first gonna show you the easy version. So I'm bringing my hand all the way to the ground. One more time. And for the more harder version, I'm just keeping my arm in the air, so not bringing it to the mat. My other arm is just extending all the way to the side. And I'm really making sure that I'm staying in a nice line here, like in the first move. I'm not trying to arch or slouch. Really keeping those abs nice and tight. And I'm just keeping the arms nice and fluid. We're just doing 2 times 8, and then we're gonna come for a nice hold at the end. And let's hold, bringing the arms together into 5th. And release. Good. Come down to your side. And we're just gonna bring the legs together. And we're first just gonna lift the top leg up and down. Really making sure that we have it turned in. We're not trying to turn the hip out. We really wanna focus that we're feeling it in our obliques, but you will feel it a little bit in your hip. I'm also making sure that I'm not slouching into my elbow. I'm keeping the shoulders nice and straight, and I'm also keeping my abs engaged while stretching the leg and pointing my toe, so that I'm just working my entire body. And these are nice, controlled movements, so we're not doing them super quick. We are doing this movement for 3 times 8. The next movement will be 2 times 8, and then the last exercise of this side series will be 1 times 8. Usually we are doing 2 to 3 times 8, but it will vary depending on the movement. Good. After this, we're just gonna lift the leg slightly, meeting the bottom leg to the top leg, like so, and then bringing everything back down. Don't worry if you can't bring the top leg super high. What's important is that you're feeling it in your obliques. So if a little bit lower is more comfy for you and you still feel it in your obliques, then that's perfect. Last one, and now we're gonna bring the legs together and just lift everything up, just 8 times. So feet together and lifting up. Keeping that posture. Don't let that stomach go. Don't let your line go. After this, we're gonna come onto our back. So let's go. Slowly lower down, and we're just gonna work on our lower abs here. So I'm gonna bring my hands behind my head, and I'm going to lift my legs, keeping them bent, and I'm just gonna bring one down and then alternating, trying to touch my toe on the mat, and then other side. And I'm really concentrating here on my lower abs, making sure that they're engaged. So we are doing 3 times 8 here, and if you have trouble holding that form with your stomach, like I just mentioned, then please take a break, come back when you're ready. It's really important that you have those lower abs engaged and your stomach is on the ground, or you're trying to bring your tailbone to the ground. This is where quality over quantity comes in. It's better to do the movement correctly than doing a million of them and not correctly. All right, let's bring our knees together and we're gonna lift our head and we're gonna do the same movement 3 times 8. If this feels a little too extreme for you, keep your head down and just continue with the previous exercise. And once again, we're keeping that ab engaged, belly button to the floor. Really trying to make sure that you're not pulling on your head and squeezing your elbows together. You want to keep your shoulders and elbows nice and wide and really just focusing on the abs. Good, now we're gonna add a twist to the same movement, so trying to meet our elbow with our knee. And once again, if this feels way too intense, then do the exercise before or revert to the first one. Good, this is nice and slow, a nice and controlled movement. Just slightly touching those toes to the mat. We're doing 3 times 8 again. Keeping those abs engaged, don't forget. All right, last one, and we're gonna bring both feet onto the mat. We're gonna come for some old-fashioned crunches. And once again, we're really trying not to pull on our head, keeping those shoulders nice and open, and we're really trying to engage the abs here, so belly button to the ground. Good, and we're gonna come for a nice hold after this. So extend your arms out. Good, release. And let's just stretch our legs. And we're gonna stretch our arms and just make the body really nice and long. So we're stretching our abs. And we're gonna bend our knees here. And we're gonna get some momentum. We're gonna try and do a roll like a ball. We're gonna do this for 8 times. So holding onto your knees. And we'll roll up and balance. And roll back and roll forward. So it's totally okay if you don't get the momentum right and you cannot balance. Take some time and practice to learn the momentum. And even when you know it, it still sometimes doesn't go. Just try your best here. Good, and last one, we'll hold, feet onto the mat, and we'll come back to our knees, and we'll start with the very first exercise, just going side to side. And let's go. So side and the other side, keeping those abs in, and just making a nice line, and really making this movement nice and fluid. Good. Let's come onto our knees and we'll extend one leg. And once again, if you want to make this super easy, you can just bring the hand all the way down to the ground and come up. And once again. And if you want to make this harder, you just don't touch the ground and you keep the hand in the air. My other arm is just extending all the way to the side. And I'm just making this nice movement, very nice and fluid. Good, last one. I forgot the hold, so please do that on your own. And we're just gonna come down to the side. And we're just gonna come for a nice leg lift, so just lifting that top leg, keeping it in. Trying not to open that hip really wide. It's not important how high it can go. It's important that you feel it in your obliques, and you'll feel it as well in your hips. And if you stretch your leg and point to toe, you'll also feel it in your thighs and in your calves. Good, last one, and we're gonna come to that movement where we meet the one foot to the other, like so. So just top leg up and bringing the bottom leg to the other one and then back down. Keeping those abs nice and engaged, keeping your posture straight, try not to slouch into the elbow. Good, last one, and we'll bring both feet together and we're gonna lift both legs at the same time. Just 1 times 8, really concentrating on those obliques and the abs. Good, and let's just roll onto our back, nice and slow. And we're gonna start this nice little crunch lower ab series. So hands behind your head. Let's just lift those legs, bending them, and just bringing the toe nice and gently to the ground. Keeping those lower abs engaged. Good, 3 times 8. We're almost finished with this whole video. You guys are doing great. Last one, and then we're going to lift the head and the upper body, and we're just gonna do the same movement. Once again, if it's too difficult, you can still stay with the previous exercise. Good, keeping those abs engaged. And keeping this nice and controlled movement going. Making sure that you're breathing as well. Don't hold your breath ever. And last one, knees together, and let's add that twist. So elbow to knee, still keeping a nice control movement, just gently touching those toes to the mat and keeping those lower abs engaged. Don't forget to keep your shoulders nice and open. You don't want to squeeze them really tight trying to get to the knee. Good, and final one. Knees together, bringing the feet to the mat. And let's just take a moment before we come for those crunches. And let's go. Abs are engaged, belly button to the ground, shoulders are nice and open, and we're really trying not to pull on our head here. Our hands are just there for support. Good, keep going. We're almost there. You're almost done. Good, and let's just hold here, arms extended. Perfect, release. Just take a moment here. We're gonna come for a roll like a ball. So let's get ready and come up. And roll back and come up. And balance. And balance. Good, and final one, and we're just gonna hold up, 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 hold it. And release. Awesome, guys. You guys did so great. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!